Hello everybody, it's the Alco Diesel guy with a nice zoomed in shot of my RS-32 locomotive. Hint hint, wink wink. A lot of you are probably waiting with bated breath about my particular Alco series, and I do have an update on that. Before I go any further though, I must thank everyone for liking and subscribing. I'm now up to 500, in particular the subscriptions. I'm now over 500 subscriptions at this time. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart to all those who have. And again, those of you who are on the fence about doing it, don't worry, it doesn't cost anything. Just takes a few clicks of the mouse, make a YouTube account, hit the subscribe button, and you will help me out greatly. So thank you again, a million times over for what you folks have done for me. It has helped me greatly. Anywho, I just wanted to give a bit of an update into what's going on here, and many of you may have noticed this layout looks pretty much like it did when I made my last video, which I believe was that IHC Minuteman locomotive paint steam locomotive that I did with the DCC and sound. I have done some work. People have been telling me to get rid of the brass track. This was actually done before I even made that video, so I'm just going to go over it one last time. Yes, this whole section on the trestle here, you can tell by its way it still shines, is now nickel silver. This is all brass. The reason being is when I did that S2 review, pardon me, the Atlas, I think that was an S4 or an S2 review from the Atlas model, where I had all those problems with it running. I just got so fed up with that particular video. I ripped this whole section out from this point right on back here all the way down to the bottom and retracked it with nickel silver track. It definitely helped me dramatically. I'm going to have to now probably do the same with the third track here. I kind of did that years ago. Now I want to say about 10 years ago already. I can't believe it's been that long, almost 10 years ago, with what track I had laying around at the time. I'm going to go ahead now and actually take that track up and replace it with nickel silver when I get to it. I have the track in stock. I just have to go over it. I'm going to retrack all of this from about this point on. Luckily, that track underneath the tunnel was done properly with 22-inch snap track, nickel silver snap track from Atlas, so I don't have to worry about that section for the third track. It's just this outer section. Also, a bit of an update. People have asked what purpose does this layout serve. Well, to start with, it brings me a lot of joy. I love running the trains. I love seeing them go around the tracks. In terms of what actual purpose the model train it simulates, in terms of what it serves for the imaginary people who live on this layout, basically it gets people from this small town over here of Seacliff, which is what I've nicknamed it, to this small town over here at Midville, to this small town up here at Whitestone, which is on top of my mountain. Essentially, that's what it does. It transports traffic back and forth. I run the Seacliff area here is a port city. It gets traffic in from mainline railroads, as you see by the container cars, which are now covered with some clutter as I am still cleaning this up. Again, I haven't touched this because of ski season kicking in and taking me away from this. I haven't been able to really get on this to really do very much with it. I will be doing more work on getting things more ready, getting things in sort of better shape to operate once all is all said and done. But essentially, yeah, this is where the cargo comes in. The railroad uses its Alcos to haul trains over here to Midville, doing transfer runs and up to the mountain, and then of course back from the mountain and back over down to Seacliff over here. There's also a fuel train. As we see, there are a few cars here that get hauled over here to the main area in Midville for the fueling section, which is what this little track is. That's the fuel track, where the cars are located before they're emptied out into an underground tank, where they are in fact used to fill and actually supply the fuel cranes right over here by my engine house, which have actually gone out. I also have fuel cranes on this particular shed over here, which are underground. I kind of have it filled in there. I've been trying to figure out a way of simulating that more realistically, but I have that little fueling station right there. That's all. The fuel also goes there as well. That's sort of a secondary run I do with the train. Basically, that's what the main focus is here. Mainly, it's boxcar traffic, because a lot of the traffic going up has to go through a very rough area, and as a result of that, it has to be put in some kind of boxcar to protect it from the rough elements climbing the mountain. As you can see, I'm still trying to figure out how to simulate the mountain on that. It's basically, that's mainly boxcar traffic. Incidentally, too, I use mainly Bachmann boxcars, not because of the price, but because they actually hold the rails. They're actually kind of expensive, but I find they do a good job. So there's a shock for you. I'll go into more detail on that in a later video. But that's essentially what the purpose this layout serves. First purpose is to make me happy and give me joy and enjoyment, which I do get out of it, which is the whole purpose of being in this hobby. The second is to serve these two imaginary communities, to get traffic around and basically keep them supplied and allow people to commute back and forth, as I do run, as you see, commuter service trains. And that's essentially what this layout's all about. Now on to some details as to what's going on with my video production, etc. As you all know, it's been taking me an excessive amount of time getting these Alco switcher, road switcher production videos out, and that's because it takes a lot more editing and work to do, and I've been pretty busy on and off here. The current situation, though, is a little bit different. In addition to having a little trouble getting some of the footage, which I am struggling with at this time, I've hit an unfortunate setback, which no one could have expected coming. Well, could have expected to come. It has nothing to do with health or anything like that. Again, I know a lot of people thought I was sick or something when I mentioned the coronavirus pandemic. No, I'm fine. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with technology. Specifically this. This is, or was, my NAS hard drive, which I used to have up here on top of the shelf right next to my router. So as you can probably tell, said drive didn't just levitate, it did fall off the shelf, and, well, it unfortunately kissed my concrete floor over here, causing it to get severely damaged, as you saw there. I have since taken said drive apart, or at least the cage apart. I put a new board in here, I got this to spool up, it worked, and I thought, oh, I'm in great shape. I put it back in the cage, tried it. Unfortunately, that was then greeted with the rather infamous sound of metal grinding onto metal. Yeah. So essentially that means this drive is useless. All the data in it is gone. Luckily, I didn't lose anything that I didn't have backed up already. The footage you saw from the Alco RS11 video was actually on this drive. It actually caused me to delay the release for it because I thought I was up the creek without a paddle. As it turns out, the footage survived on the editing PC itself, so everything was fine. I'd edited it out, I got it out, I was able to render a file of it and then publish it to YouTube, no problem there, thank goodness. Unfortunately, I don't have a way of backing things up, and as again, because of the incident that happened with this drive, with the drive physically butting up against the front here, there's actually a dent on the front. It's hard to see on the front here. The metal is actually physically dented into the platters. This drive is not going to be workable again unless I were to spend upwards of $30,000 to get it repaired, which I can't afford. And even if I could, I wouldn't do it because it's kind of ridiculous. And even so, I do have this stuff backed up. So even though I didn't lose anything critical, I'm still stuck in a mess because I don't have any kind of drive to put all the new videos on, and I'm not going to make a new video for the sake of having it destroyed. So unfortunately, this hard drive is useless. And as a result of that I can't actually do any more video updates at this point, or at least with any more rendering, etc., without causing major problems for myself. So, as of this time, I'm currently working on getting a new NAS drive in, but as we know, there was a certain ship that got stuck in a certain canal. This has further aggravated the situation, which was already bad because of the huge demand for electronics these days. The end result, prices for these items have gone through the roof. They were already through the roof before, but now, forget it. Now, it makes I wish the prices were as high as they were a few months ago, because that would have been a bargain. So the end result, that's going to further delay any new kind of video production I do, including the road switcher things. I'm not going to produce something only to have it destroyed. I just could not handle the mental agony on that, the mental agita that would cause me if I were to do something like that, especially with all the effort it takes to get those videos edited just the way I want them. So for the time being, production will stall until I get this new NAS drive in. I've already decided to work on it. I've already handled that situation so it doesn't happen to me again, because I'm not going through this drive practicing its jackknife onto my concrete floor. As you can see here, I have now cleaned out this area on the shelf here. I've got the wires already run. I'm going to mount this physically to the actual shelf itself. This will keep it firmly mounted in place so it doesn't actually cause any further near-death experiences for myself as well in the process by causing me to lose all of my data. So, with all that said, that's where I am right now. This, again, will cause the new Alco video that's coming out, basically based on the late Alco switchers, the switchers, I should say, of the late 50s. There, again, will be a delay on that. I don't know exactly how long. In addition to that, I'm also going to be away from the, I should say, away from trains for a little while here. Not completely away. I'm going to be doing something train-related that is not related to my layout and my videos. Well, I may post some videos about it. Hint, hint. It's something else I like to do. But for the time being, unfortunately, because of that and because of the problem with the NAS drive, basically deciding it didn't want to stay on my shelf, I am not going to be able to really produce anything for the time being. There will be a delay in getting new videos out. I am on the process of trying to get a new drive in, but this is proving to be a bit on the challenging side, again, because the supply is so far down and prices are so through the roof, so this may take longer than I expect. That even I expect, with all the delays and flying with everything else. On top of that, really aggravating things even more is the fact that I have to now go through all of the different backups I have, get them all together onto one drive, and then in turn take that drive and put that back in place. That is to say, once the new drive comes, I've got to now back all that data up into one central location, put that drive back in place. It's going to take some time. Now that said, I'm not giving up. I'm gonna produce the videos. I'm gonna get my next section up. It's just gonna take longer time. I just don't want anyone to feel too disappointed when they see the videos are not cranking out not coming out, I should say, from the current Alco Road Switcher series I've been doing. I will be, again, I'll do my best to get them out to you as soon as possible, but I don't know how long the delay will be at that point. That said, I do have pre-bank footage. I've shot a few other videos that are all set to go. They're all edited and ready to go up. I'll be posting one here in a little while once I get some minor things done on it. There are actually one or two more details I wanted to add to it. There are one or two other videos that are not train related that I might post as well, just to give folks some things to watch, just to show that I do have other hobbies I do as well, just to see if anyone's interested. And also to keep it fresh, keep things fresh and keep things interesting for you folks, so you do get some videos during this downtime, especially in appreciation of all of those who have subscribed, which thank you again. I can't thank you enough. But essentially, that's what's going on right now. I'm in kind of a holding pattern here. There's a red signal ahead of me, and I gotta wait for it to go to green before I can proceed further on. So anyway, I hope this gives a little info as to what's going on with me, and I hope everyone is enjoying my videos. I know a lot of you have. And those of you who haven't, please subscribe. It has helped me so much. Thank you so much again to those who have liked and subscribed. You have helped me more than you can ever know. And as always, keep the metal side down.